Thank you again for watching these videos. My name is Kamia Simon. Do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and also the support. You can support through PayPal. Alright, so I want to continue with these videos, and now we've talked about almost all buttons, and we're going to talk about the pick button. Alright, so I'll go back to our documentation. Now remember, we've started drilling into the script or the tool we're creating. So I'm going to start naming starting with the next videos. Since I'm going to be diving deeper, I'm going to start naming my videos season 1 part 1, season 1 part 2, like that, because we're now creating the tool. And please watch them as we create the tool, because I will be talking more about other functional things such as statements, more statements, the switch statement, the more condition statements, and how they can be used. And I'll be bringing different examples. And in this one, we're also going to talk about how to convert into Editable Poly. You saw what we did in the previous one, where we had to choose if the item, where we had to change the selection set using the Maxscript, and we were choosing a selection set that lies into shapes, cameras, and geometry. So we did that. So we're going to start digging deeper. So let's go to our Maxscript documentation. Remember, I told you there's no way you can avoid the documentation, because you can't simply have everything or every syntax that you're going to use in your head. It depends on the project that you're using. All right, so we've come to one of the key buttons that we will need, and that is the pick button. Sorry, before we saw the basic button, the check button, and now we have the pick button. And then we're going to be using this to help us select certain items in the scene. Okay, it enables that. It enables the firing over an array that can help you pick an object. All right, so the keyword is pick button, and then you give it a name, and then you give it a caption. And then they are saying that you can have a message which is a string, or even filter it with a function, tooltip, and auto display, which must take in a boolean, either true or false. All right, as you know, we've already got the keyword, and then please take time and read through some of these. For example, they are telling us, why do we need a message? Okay, so message is optional, but the optional text to be displayed in 3ds Max status line, while the pick button is in mode. So the default, there is no message. So they're talking about a message that will be displayed here if that button is active or engaged. All right, so they are saying, first of all, the keyword is pick button, and then you give the button a name, which I'll call PKBTN. Okay, and then you can give it a text to display. For example, maybe pick object. Pick object. I'm just right, so I already have choose object there, and then let me save. So run, which is Control E. Right, so there we are. It is pick object. Now when I click on it, it engages that I pick anything in the scene. For example, I'm going to pick maybe this box, and you see I've picked the box. Now they're saying that for it to be engaged and we see something, okay, of course when I picked the box it did nothing, that we must have something which is message. Right, so let me type message, and then the message can be, please pick object from scene. All right, please pick object from scene. Control save, Control E. All right, so whenever I engage it, you can see that we have a message down here which says please pick object from scene. and that's what the message which is also optional. And now I also want to, of course I'll go ahead and pick an object from scene, you see, but I also want to add another this which is called auto display. Okay, auto display. There's also a filter function here. Please go ahead and read through. You may not use all these, but you may need them. Okay, I want to look for auto display. Okay, so when set true, the name of the picked object will be automatically displayed as a text on the button. If false, then there's no response. All right, so let us make auto display true. Auto display. Remember, it takes in a Boolean value, which is true or false, and then I save. Right, this time around, if I pick an object from the scene, okay, such as box 001, you can see what has happened. Okay, if I pick an object from scene, okay, you can see it has picked another object. But let's continue. Let's see now what can the button do for us. All right, so there are very many things, but we can say on what. Okay, let me check on the events, and we see. So you can pick up an object as a node. The property is the last object picked using the pickup button undefined. If no object has been picked, the property can both be get or set, accepting the node or undefined. All right, so we shall see how to use this, but let's see. The event is on pick on that button picked, the argument do, and then the expression. All right, so on that button picked, what do you want to do? All right, so let's see how we're going to work on that. So on that button, remember our button is btn. Let me first check. Yeah, btn. All right, so what do we want to do if it is picked? Okay, now remember they expect an argument. Okay, which argument? You can, for example, pass in, and the argument is a rule. Even the button here is a rule, if you remember in our first videos, and then the expression is a rule. So on the argument, they expect maybe you have a variable, maybe a function, maybe something. So let's do this. So on that button picked x, okay, now x is something I'm going to be using now. X is the object that has been picked. To me, x is the object that has been picked. It can be y, it can be z, anything of the sort. So it's the variable I've given the object that has been picked. So when that object has been picked, do what? Okay, for example, do make all objects. Okay, do make all objects black. If one object has been picked, do make all objects black. Remember in our previous lesson we have a syntax of all objects, which is objects. This does not define which object it is. It will pick all the objects in the scene. So I'm going to choose objects dot maybe wire color. Remember, wire color in our first videos is a property for all, maybe is a property like the material property, not specifically the materials, but the basic wire mesh color property. Okay, so blue. Okay, let me make black, and then save, and then Control E. So if an object is picked, which is X, make all. So you see everything has changed to black, and then it has got the name of that. All right, so apart from that, let the object that is selected, since it is now equal to X, remember I gave it a value of X here, So if an object has been, if the button PKBTN has been picked, okay, and then X is selected, do this. All right, so I'm going to get X. Now X is the selected object, and then change its wire color to green, maybe to show that it has been selected, green. Then save. Hope you're trying to follow and understand whatever I'm trying to explain here. If you don't, please leave a comment in the section, and then my Skype ID is always there. You can always have a little chat with me on Skype, and then we say, all right, so let me evaluate this, and then let me pick this object. Oh, if an object has been picked, X, do. All right, so objects dot wire color picked. For example, I'm going to write select X. Okay, now let's choose pick object. All right, so you see the object is selected. So let me give this value, this a variable, v is equal to select X. Now I can write v dot color, right? So let's see what I have. Okay, now they are saying wire color in. Oh, that's an error. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to say dollar, which is a standard for selected, dollar dot wire color. All right, so let me close this, which means this line is that variable is useless for the moment. So you can see that I'm doing these trials live. I'm not like I did like first pre-do, but I'm trying to match the syntax, so that's why. Okay, so let me see. All right, there we are. But then a wire color, do I have a certain object below? Okay, I have a certain object below, and my wire color is here. It's already green. All right, so let me run this line maybe. Okay, let's change this color to red. I think even the select part may not be needed. Let me see, because I had something down there. Let me see. All right, so let's pick another object. Let's pick the same object and we see if we have. Okay. All right, so we see the select was not that useful, but however we can always retain it because, okay, let me see. All right, let me first rewrite this without selecting anything. I'm going to select another. Let me first do x.red and we see. Okay, and then I pick this. All right, so you can see this gives us the result maybe I intended. Okay, so what I intended, I wanted everything to be made black, everything that is not selected picked to be made black, and then the selected item to be made red. For example, if I pick again and I pick the light, you see the light, one of the lights is red, and all the items that are not red, okay, are not selected. So what this line of code is telling us, it's saying that when the object is picked, give it a value of X, and then do this. You make all objects have a wire color of black, and then you make the objects with a value now of X to be red. Okay, so that's what simply this is meaning. You can see that everything is first made black. Otherwise, if I inverse this code, you're going to see what is going to happen. Okay, So let me pick this item. So you see all of them are black simply because it first made the item red and then went to this line. That's if I inverse the code. Alright, so there's one other thing maybe we can do just beyond just changing colors, and that's something with the editable polys. And like I said, I want us to learn how to navigate through the documentation. So I'm going to come here and type editable poly. Editable poly, editable. Alright, so let me choose editable mesh, and we see editable splines, editable mesh display. So let me choose editable. There's editable poly here. Alright, so they are telling us that editable poly is a general editable fashion for editable poly objects. Now what they are simply telling us here is that come on, why is we have a class, but this class is not instanced from any creatable using Maxscript. Therefore, we have to do, while editable poly class instances cannot be created by Maxscript, geometry objects of other classes can be converted to editable poly. So they're telling us we can convert editable mesh or any object to editable poly, and they're telling us the syntax to convert. Okay, so let's type here convert. Hope you guys are trying to get how to navigate through. So there is convert to mesh, convert to nubs, convert to, okay. All right, so editable mesh, geometry class, node, blah blah. Let's go with this and see. All right, so convert to. Now this is the syntax for converting to. All right, so convert to the node. In our case, the node is box or B or X. We give it a value of X. Then optional mesh or anything. All right, so convert node. So there is editable mesh. All right, so let's see what we have to do. So we're going to chase. Remember, our objects are not yet converted to editable poly. Okay, so let's see. We're going to convert to. All right, convert to. The way I've typed it. Convert to. Come on, misspellings here. Convert to X. Okay. Editable underscore poly. All right, so after selecting the object, I want it to be converted to editable poly. Better done than said. Let me save and run. All right, remember this object of ours, so let me pick it. Voila, there you go. It has changed to red, and then it's now an editable poly. Thank you for watching this video. Let's meet in another video where we shall see how we enable the selected object to display one of its editable value selections, for example vertices or edges or something. Let's meet in another video.